I'm here alongside Darren Hare. 2-0 home defeat against Boreham. What can you say after a result like that?
Well, we're very disappointed. If to be totally truthful, Boreham were by far the better team, and we're all scratching our heads a little bit at the moment. But we tried to match them with their shape. They've been on a very good run. They're a good side, strong side, but we just didn't turn up today. And if I'm honest, I think the gaffer, myself, and Trigger are a little bit embarrassed by the performance, to be honest, today.
Where do you think it all went wrong?
Well, I think knowing the answers to that would be a $1 million question, to be totally honest, at this particular moment in time. But we just didn't look at it. We weren't picking up second balls. They were first to things. They looked brighter. They looked sharper than us. And to be honest, I think we got bullied in every department around the pitch. The game's a physical game in this league, and unless we compete man for man to man on a regular basis, then unfortunately we're not going to win games. And too often this season we tend to put a performance in, like we did at Peterborough last week, and then serve up that. And I can only apologise to our fans that were watching from our point of view today, as we were nowhere near good enough. Boreham Wood, I've got to give them a lot of credit, because I thought they were very strong, very robust. They play the game that suits the players they got in their team, and they cause us problems. And I think 2-0 flattered us, if I'm honest. To be honest, there could have been a lot more.
What do you put it down to? Do you think it's a mental thing? Do you think it's a lack of experience? What do you think, having seen so many games? What can you put it down to?
Do you know, I'm a great believer in that it's not about formations, it's about players. And I think that we did try playing three at the back today, and obviously that didn't work, so we changed that again at half time. So the players might look at that a little bit as a bit of an excuse, but I think deep down in that dressing room after the game, they know that to a man, they just did not perform as well as what they should have done individually. And there's 11 individuals out there that make up a team, and you've got to do your jobs. And we just didn't have enough quality. But more importantly, and more worryingly for me as a coach, is that we didn't have that normal combative tenacity about us. When second balls were dropping, they were picking them up. When headers needed winning, they were tending to win them. Unless you get those basics right every week in, week out, then you're not going to win games. And I thought, Boreham Wood, I think bullied is the right word. I thought they actually bullied us today. That they were stronger than us physically, and once they got themselves in front, then it becomes a bit of a mental thing for us, because as when we go behind here, we then struggle to then think about how we're going to try and break down the opposition. They changed their mindset, sit a bit deeper. We've then got to be cleverer, and that's why we try to put a bit of width on the pitch with Nas and with AJ, just to try and break them down a little bit. And unfortunately, they didn't quite pan out for us, and we've got to go back to the drawing board, I think, a little bit, and think about what's going to be best for us when we're playing at home. We've had a couple of decent performances at home, as you know. We beat Southend, we beat Eastleigh, but the last two have got us obviously second guessing again.
In terms of the squad, there was a firm belief in the squad at the start of the season. Has that belief faltered in any way?
Well, I think we're going to have to look at all things today. So we'll look at ourselves as a management team. We'll look at the personnel. We'll look at the mix of what we've got in the group. But I mean, it's not easy to get players in at this stage of the season, and it's certainly not easy to get players out. And but that's how we were all feeling. And I'm not being funny. Even the players sat around the dressing room. As far as we're concerned, we're still part of that group. We're still all in this together. Very, very disappointing display today. And the way the league's going this year, we're still only 6 points off a playoff spot. Having said that, we're 4 points off the relegation zone. So that's how tight it is. We'll be looking at things for sure. And Andy's not the sort of manager that will just rest on his laurels and think that everything's rosy and we'll just carry on. We'll work hard on the training ground. We'll do our best to try and put things right. And in the same breath, I'm sure we'll be out looking to try and strengthen in certain areas if we can, if the chairman allows us to.
Excellent. Well, thank you for your time.
Cheers, mate.